I can't wait to get some makeup on this face. I've got a bunch of new products to try on with you today, so let's get started. All my skincare is on, including my SPF. I don't talk too much about SPFs on my channel, but I did want to mention an SPF that I have been using recently. This Isn't-Tree hyaluronic acid watery sun gel that goes on literally like water, absorbs into the skin, works beautifully under makeup. I'm almost done this. Once I'm done this, I had also picked up Beauty of Joseon. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is another sunscreen that I've heard really great things about. And once I'm done this one, I will definitely try this one and let you know. So let's just get on with this. I'm really excited. I have a lot of great new stuff to show you. If you're new here, hi, I'm Rhoda. Welcome, welcome. Let's get started with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Power Serum. This is quite an interesting little product. You are not supposed to shake this. You are supposed to turn it over, and there's this squishy little button thingy here that you're supposed to press. I'm putting like maybe 2 or 3 drops. Well, no, 4 or 5. This is supposed to control shine and really meant for oily skin types. I am not an oily skin type. I do get a little bit of oil on the T-zone. I have a normal to dry skin type. I focus this on the center of my face, just pressing it in to control any oils. But I have been applying it everywhere as well. And you do have to give it a moment to dry down. And then it gives you this mattifying finish and is supposed to be a wonderful primer for makeup. And I have to agree, I've only used it maybe 2 or 3 times and I'm really, really enjoying it. I think anybody can use it. It's just probably super beneficial for those with oily skin, but I wouldn't exclude other skin types from using this product. So now it's dried down. It doesn't feel drying or anything. It's just like a smooth finish on my face and it's not tacky at all. I've recently rediscovered the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I love this foundation. I used to use it all of the time and then I finished it, moved on to some other ones and completely forgot about it, but was reminded about it recently and I picked it up and I'm so glad that I did. Shake it up for sure. It's a medium coverage, but it's buildable and it has a beautiful natural finish, which is perfect. This is a BK Beauty 101, my favorite foundation brush. Now this is shade 2.5N. I couldn't remember what shade I used to use. It was between the 2 and the 2.5 and I picked wrong. This is definitely my summer tan, more tan shade, but that's okay. I'm gonna make it work. The 2 is definitely lighter and would be more suited for my skin right now. It just glides on, beautiful coverage, easy to apply, a medium coverage like I mentioned, but it's buildable and I just stipple in the areas where I need a little bit more. Oh, I forgot to do my brows. I have a new brow product too. Let me finish blending this on my face and then we'll get to brows. Benefit has a new tinted brow wax. I got warm, deep brown. Comb out my brows first, see what we're working with. So it comes with, your typical brush. It's not too big, which is great because you don't want it to get on the areas around your brows. You just kind of want it in your brows. I'm being so careful. I don't want to go too far in here because that's when we're going to run into some trouble. I'm just starting a little bit over and applying it mostly with the tip because My eyebrows are pretty thin and I don't want to get any pigment on my skin. I do like this shade. It's not too dark and it's not too light. So this is a wax though, right? This is supposed to keep your eyebrows in place, but I like to work in a wax. And because this is tinted, that makes me sort of like I'm scared to go in with it. My eyebrows are going in places I really don't want them to go. And then I would typically kind of shape the outside, but I don't want to use this because it's going to get pigment on my skin. I'm not going to use this. I don't think this is a product for me. Now, if you have big, bushy, beautiful brows and you have a bigger area and space to work with, this kind of does 2-in-1. It'll deposit that color, it'll wax your brow hairs, keep them in place, but I find this very hard to work with on my eyebrows in particular, although I do love the color. Let me start working this in with a spoon. Oh no. Oh no. This is stuck together. It's got good hold, I'll tell you that much. Oh no. This is not ideal. How am I going to fix this? This brow, I'm just going to use my Patrick Ta pencil and my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. And once I'm done that, we'll move on. I am trying to get this off of here. It has stained my skin over here. I'm going to have to reapply my foundation around here. I'm using like a clean, heavy duty spoolie here just to get the gunk out. Yeah, okay. I have a new color corrector for under my eyes. It's the Givenchy Prism Libre color corrector, and I picked up the shade Peach. It does have a typical doe foot applicator with a little well in there, and it holds on to some of the product. Now, I don't want to put too much of this on. It's a liquid and it's very spreadable is all I'm going to say. Picking it up with my Nikki N16, then applying it to my under eye, and I'm trying to be precise with it. It's very, very light. It's very, very liquidy, and it almost disappears into the skin. That is a good thing because you don't want a very thick color correcting layer underneath your concealer. However, I would like for it to show up a little bit. That's one thing that I have noticed while I've been using this the past week or so. So you do have to build it up, and that's all right. It's sort of a little bit of a learning curve with this formula. I'm going to apply it directly to my under eyes on this side, see if there's a difference. I don't want to work too hard for my color corrector. And I've said that I do prefer creams to liquids only because it is so much easier to control. But this one feels very nice. It's not heavy. But because it's so liquidy and kind of disappears, you have to really build it up in order for it to show up. So I'm not necessarily jumping for joy with this one. I want to color correct my lids as well and maybe get a little bit extra in this inner corner here. It feels very wet on the skin. I didn't mention that. Obviously, it's a liquid and it does take a little bit of time to dry down. I wouldn't dare go in with my concealer right away with this. It'll just mix in with it. It kind of defeats the purpose. It'll change the color of your concealer. You don't want that. So definitely let it dry down. And it does take a little bit of time. I'm going to let that sit and we will move on to bronzers. So pleasantly surprised with these Glossier Cloud Paint Gel Cream Bronzers. I picked up 2 shades. I picked up Sail, and I picked up Dune. Let me do a quick swatch for you. This is Sail. This is the lightest shade that they have. That's Sail. And this one is Dune. Now, it looks like it would be a lot darker than Sail. However, they sheer out and they add this beautiful sheen to your cheek. So natural. I love both shades. I'm going to mix the two today. You can mix all the shades however you want to create your own custom color, which is exactly what I'm doing today. They recommend to apply with your fingers, but I always like applying with a brush. I've mixed those up and I'm going to start applying this to my cheeks. Get a nice bronzy glow going. So see how it just shears out, goes on so beautifully, and it's almost like it's part of my skin. It doesn't sit heavy, gives you that sun-kissed glow, but it's not glowy. It doesn't stay sticky. It dries down and literally becomes a part of your skin. I'll get on my forehead too. So easy to apply. I'm going to put a little bit on my nose. I'm not going to contour my nose. I just want to get a little bit of bronziness on there. And that's it. We're done. We're done with bronzer. Now that the color corrector has had a chance to dry down, I've tapped it off just to make sure it hasn't gotten into my fine lines. We are ready for concealer. Today I'm going to be using, again, the Estee Lauder Futurist Skin Sealer. I really have been liking this, but I wanted to try it one more time just to make sure that it does have enough coverage for me, because sometimes I feel like it's the perfect coverage and other days it's not, and I don't know what's changing because I'm consistent with everything else. So I want to give it one last go before I make up my mind on this one. It is very beautiful, but again, working with these eyes, and sometimes even the most amazing concealer just doesn't work for me. This is shade 2N. I did try this on my Sephora haul video, but I will show you again this cute little doe foot applicator, but it is round and it mimics a small finger, which is really, really great to get into those corners. Right here, and over here. Blending this out, I am using my Angie Hot and Flashy A506, I think it is. I should know this by now. It's one of my favorite concealer brushes, if not my favorite concealer brush. So this is really brightening, which is fantastical. That's what I want. It works well with the Givenchy as well. It glides on. It's quite serumy and thin, so you don't feel like a heaviness under your eyes. I brought it down a little bit too much. I'm going to take a sponge and just diffuse those edges there. It's giving me some good coverage, enough coverage, a natural finish. It's not dewy, although it's serumy. It doesn't leave a glow behind, especially when it dries down. MAC Fix Plus, spritz a little on my fingers, and then I'm going to tap under my eyes and keep that locked in exactly where it is and prevent any possible creasing. One and done shadow era I am in, and in my Sephora haul, I did pick up another shade of the Hourglass Scattered Light Shadows. This is in the shade Ray. I do keep this little cap on there. It does prevent it from drying out. This beautiful, gorgeous shade. MAC 217 brush, dipping it in here. If you have long fingernails, you cannot get into the product, just FYI. Place it all over my lid. There's a beautiful reflective gold sparkle in there. Absolutely stunning. I love it. I have to get a new word to replace stunning with another word because I use that word way too much. I know. I'm sorry. Because this is more of a creamy shadow, I didn't powder and set my eyelid because I want this to be able to glide on. Speaking of one and done shadows, I ordered the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural palette that she just released. And I ordered it on her website because we can't get Natasha Denona at Sephora in Canada any longer. I haven't received it yet. I'm hoping to receive it today. And if I do, I will definitely be doing a video reviewing that. And the reason I bring it up is because Natasha is saying that all 5 shadows in there are supposed to be one and done everyday shadows. And my ears perked right up. And I thought, how does she know I'm in my one and done shadow era? How did she know that? Now, I stayed on my eyes for quite a bit because I was yapping, but I didn't really have to. I really didn't. This is done in literally in 30 seconds. You're golden. You're good to go. I'm not going to do eyeliner today, but I am going to take my teensy weensy Makeup by Mario Pro Pigment pencil in black, and I'm just going to tightline my upper waterline. Gentle lift so that we can get under there. It just adds a definition to your lash line without having liner on your actual lash line. It really does make a difference. Curl the lashes. As always, Milk Makeup Kush Eyelash Primer. If you have seen any of my videos, you will know this is my favorite, most amazing eyelash primer. I'm going to try a new mascara today, and it is the Lancome Definisil mascara that I used to use like back in my 20s or 30s. I can't remember. I didn't pick up black. I picked up the deep brown shade to try that out because I'm going down the brown mascara rabbit hole. Video to come. A very typical mascara wand. This is applying evenly, easily. I'm getting almost my entire lash, so just be careful because it is long. You could poke over here and get a nice little splotch over there, which happens a lot. It is lifting, it is curling, it is not volumizing. I remember loving this because it would give me such volume in my youth, but that's probably because I had volume to begin with and now I don't. Doing a very good job of lifting, separating, curling, but not much in the way of volume. This is not a brown mascara. It says deep brown. So I guess a black brown. If you're looking for, a brown mascara, this isn't it. A black brown? Definitely. So it's not as deep and harsh as a blackest black. Really don't see any hint of brown in there though. Just saying. A pretty, very nice mascara. For blush, I'm going to be using one of the new shades from Patrick Ta's Dual Blushes. This one is called She's the Moment, the peachy one. I'm only going to apply the cream. I did a whole video with all 3 new shades, testing them out every which way, and I absolutely love them. I mentioned in that video that I wasn't necessarily a fan of the original shades or the shades that were already existing in the line because they were just too bright and not not anything wrong with the formula. It was just the shades were too much for me. So when he released these 3 more muted, more wearable shades, I jumped on that train, and I'm so glad that I did. I love this peach for this look right now because it's kind of drying from this beautiful shadow that we have. I wanted a pop of color on the cheeks, and that's what we're getting right now, and is gorgeous. Okay, let's powder. I'm only going to powder under my eyes and just a little bit around my nose, my chin here, and my forehead. And I'm going to try again the Makeup Forever HD Skin Setting Powder. I have the shade 2.1 Medium Neutral. And I do like this powder. I keep on wanting to test it out. I like it. I really do. It is blurring. It does look nice. There's something there that I'm like, but it's not anything bad. I can't put my finger on it. So I'm going to try it on again today, keeping that the shade might be the issue in mind. Distribute that in the palm of my hand because I do not like to apply a lot of powder. And I'm just going to start here in the center of my face, set those under eyes. I think it's the shade. Because it looks nice. It does mattify and set and blur. Yeah, definitely. But then when I look at my overallness, that's a word. You know what I'm trying to say. When I look at like the whole look, I feel like it might be that this is adding pigment where I don't want pigment to be added. Maybe this one's just too dark for me, perhaps. It is a nice powder. It really is. Because it lays down very nicely. It is finely milled. It does a good job. Finally, lips. I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in Rosewood. Line these suckers up. This shade, Rosewood, is like a taupey brown with a hint of pink. It's so hard to describe. I love all of the Anastasia lip liners. One of my favorites, along with the Charlotte Tilbury. And the reason I love them is because A, they apply very easily. B, they're pencil, easily sharpenable. They set down as creamy as they are. They're not too creamy. So you have enough wiggle room for it to glide on the lips, but then they dry down and they really last. And then C, the shades, they're just beautiful. So if you're looking for a lip liner, I suggest those 2 lines definitely. The Hourglass too, but shade-wise, not as great as Anastasia and Charlotte. Okay, for lipstick is the new Makeup by Mario Super Satin Lipsticks. This is in the shade South Shore. A beautiful, neutral, pinky, gorgeous, everyday color. They glide on so nicely, very comfortable. I think it works with this look too. Oh, it's so creamy. Let's lock her in with a Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Smells so good. I'm really loving the way this came together. I'm not loving this cowlick though. No matter what I do, I can't get rid of that thing. Can we do that? Can we do that? No. Anyway, this hair is a struggle. It is a struggle. I'm on the struggle bus, the hair struggle bus. So I'm really liking this look. It's glammy without being too glammy. It all came together. I'm loving it. And you know what, now that I'm thinking about the concealer, I haven't used this concealer with any powder other than the Makeup Forever one. So I think I'm going to continue to test it out for the rest of this month before I do my monthly roundup. And then I'll have a solid conclusion to what I think about the concealer. It might be a completely different story if I use my trusty Givenchy. So we'll see. Jury's out. All of these products, I will continue to use them if I haven't necessarily made my mind up on them. Some of them are slam dunks off the top, like the Glossier bronzers. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. Brows, no. That brow wax, the tinted brow wax, is a big no for me personally. Don't look at this eyebrow. It's a mess. But the shadows, absolutely beautiful. So easy to apply. You just slap that on and you're done. You're done. The mascara, it's okay. Like I said, if you want a easy, everyday, fluttery, natural looking eyelash, it's very nice. The deep brown is not a brown. It's more black than brown. Let's just put it that way. The concealer I spoke about. The color corrector, it's okay, but I think it's a little bit finicky, but I'm going to continue to use that one as well. You know, I love the blush. The blush is a given. I didn't do any highlight today because I don't think it's necessary. I think we have a beautiful glow going on regardless. The lipstick I love, the lip liner I love, that wasn't new. Oh, the Danessa Myricks primer, that serum matte primer, that powder primer, goes on like a liquid, sets down matte and kind of powdery, no tack or stick to it whatsoever. Have used it a couple of times and you know, it looks nice under makeup. It feels nice under makeup. It works with makeup. And like I said, I don't have a very oily skin type and it works really nicely for me. So that's it for today. That was so much fun. I do love this look. It's going to be a repeatable one. I have to write it down to remember what I did. Because just the combo, you know what I mean? Like not the application. I kind of know what I'm doing there, but just the combo of all these products. Because sometimes I do a look and I love it and then I forget about it. I think about it days, weeks, months later, and I can't remember exactly what I did. But anyway, nor here nor there. I will stop rambling now. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. That would be so amazing. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.